Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to World of Tanks. Today I am back with another news episode, and in today's episode I have a really exciting topic, a really exciting main topic. Plus on the top of that, let's take yet another look at Object 268 version 4, because Wargaming has some additional tunings or nerfs ready for 268 version 4, and let's see how that looks. But our main topic today, as I said, is extremely exciting and extremely anticipated. Perfecting preferential premiums. In every single news episode where I covered some tank rebalancing, when one tank was buffed or nerfed or tuned a bit, there were always people who said, and I am over here waiting for my KV5 to be buffed, waiting for my IS6 to be tuned a bit. All those preferential premium tanks, they had one super awesome thing, and that was the matchmaking, special matchmaking. This was all about the matchmaking. If you were playing with tier 8 preferential premium tank, you were able to see up to tier 9 and down to tier 6. So +1, -2 matchmaking. This is the best matchmaking ever, right? As every single tier 9 at the moment gets. And this is why people are saying that tier 9 has the best matchmaking. You can either see full tier 9 matchmaking, you can see 5 up to 5 1 tier higher vehicles, or you can see a lot of lower tier vehicles. So really awesome matchmaking. But now, in nowadays World of Tanks, this is not going to cut it. After Wargaming introduced the new matchmaker, I think it was in patch 9.18, when they introduced the 357 matchmaking. Plus, nowadays World of Tanks meta game, which means a lot of armor, super aggressive plays. All those preferential medium tanks, they feel super antique, obsolete. Because they had that awesome matchmaking, but characteristically they are a lot weaker. If not armor-wise, then DPM-wise and penetration-wise most definitely. And if you are playing with KV5, for example, that has 167mm of penetration in nowadays World of Tanks. Well, this was not the best gaming experience, I can tell you that right away. And it might be one of the reasons why tier 8 matchmaking was a bit broken. Because as they said in the article, with preferential tier 8 premiums, you won't encounter an opponent higher than tier 9, which should make life easier. Yes, it should. But the new matchmaker struggles with these machines. It takes more time and computation for the tool to balance them properly, which extends queuing time. But this is what happens next. When one preferential, or let's say when 5 preferential premium tanks enter into the queue, this is what happens next. The matchmaker starts grabbing an excessive number of tier 9 vehicles, because tier 8s, those tier 8s are not able to see tier 10s. So matchmaker grabs excessive number of tier 9 vehicles from the pool to fill up teams with preferential matchmaking vehicles. So tier 9s become deficit when it comes to forming regular tier 10, tier 9, tier 8 battles. The matchmaker then looks for something to fill the gaps for tier 10s, and look who is here. Hello tier 8s, come here little fellas. This is what they said, and it actually makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, when we have a lot of preferential premium tanks in the queue that take away many tier 9 vehicles, and tier 10 vehicles are looking for tier 10s or tier 9s to fill the gaps, and if there are no tier 9s in the queue, hello little fellas, tier 8s, come to the party. And this is why a lot of you guys are saying that I am in the bottom tier with my tier 8 vehicle many times. This can be one option. And the second issue that they stated with preferential premium tanks was their combat specs, but I talked about that already, that all those preferential tanks, they are a bit weaker than any other same tier tank, just to balance their matchmaking a bit. But what are they going to do about this problem? How they are going to fix it? Initially, they took 2 different directions or approaches. The so-called global direction would tweak the work of Balancer so that preferential premiums have higher chance of getting into the top 3 of the 357 matchmaking. Yes, this would be really awesome for all those preferential vehicles, but for overall matchmaker, I think this is not going to do anything, and this is what they said as well, that it didn't work and they scratched that idea. Now the second solution or second approach was so-called the local direction, that was to opt for an individual approach to every single model, bringing the changes they need and thus reducing the overall negative impact made by the preferential premiums on the matchmaker. After a series of tests, this proved to be the go-to solution, but caused another problem. Some of the current preferential premium tanks are so old in terms of combat characteristics that simply dragging a slider box with their specs won't help. It turned out that some of those preferential vehicles require a major revision, while we want to maintain the same character they have now. So that means if one tank was made as a brawler, they would like to keep it as a brawler, but they would like to improve its characteristics. So it fits into nowadays metagame. This is pretty much what they are trying to do. And the first vehicle that they are testing out this new approach with is KV5. Good old KV5 with that 167mm of penetration. But if you already have your KV5 in your garage, then Wargaming is going to offer one exclusive trade-in option, so you can trade your newly tuned KV5 for another vehicle if you would like to do that. But there is a catch. As far as I understand, it is going to cost you up to 2000 gold if you would like to trade your KV5 in for another vehicle. But you get one exclusive list of tanks that is not available in the common trade-in list. This is how I understood it, at least. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. You can always correct me in the comment section. But now let's talk about the KV5, good old KV5 rebalancing. A nice little screen over here, so let's take a look. Now penetration, oh yes, finally penetration is going to be buffed. By the way, this is all this is subject to change as always, as you know, just in case I have to say that every single time. But standard shell penetration in the top right corner, guys. 218mm plus 51mm penetration buff. Premium shell is not giving you that much extra penetration, but it was also buffed up to 243. Same goes to the damage per minute, extra 200 damage per minute, up to 2300, and now it is in the third place, yes, or in the second place at the moment, because we do not have Caravan X in the game, so it is, or it has the second best DPM with those stats after Caravan, or Carnarvon, and the damage per shot was also buffed by 30 points, up to 330 from 300. Now let's talk about the armor buffs that Wargaming is thinking about doing. Commander hatch on the top of the turret, extra 40mm thick, up to 190. Gun mantle, same, extra 40mm up to 220. That little turret in the front of the main turret, up to 200, buffed by 20mm. R2D2, that second peak turret, buffed by 50mm. That was the biggest weak spot in this game, I guess. But now buffed by 50mm up to 200mm, and frontal turret overall up to 220mm, buffed by 40, and lower plate buffed by 10 up to 220mm. But at the same time, rear armor is going to be nerfed. Rear turret armor nerfed by 60mm, from 180 to 120. Rear upper area or upper plate from 145 to 95. Rear middle plate, that was, yes, it was ridiculous. It had over 200mm of effective armor, now only 93mm, nerfed by 150. Turret side from 180 to 150, and overall side armor from 150 to 130. So this should be the balancing for lower tiers, that it is not impenetrable from the rear, but it is still really strong. You can side scrape with it and all that. I love the penetration buffs, DPM buffs, alpha damage buffs, and so on. But guys, here comes the main thing. The cost of these improvements is the standard range of battles. No preferential matchmaking, that will no longer be needed with the new technical characteristics. New challenges and new opportunities for the USSR giant. So KV5 with those characteristics is going to lose its preferential matchmaking status, as far as I understand. And they want to make this new KV5 a frontline warrior, a frontline pull that is going to carry all of you guys to victory. Yeah, let's see how this works. And as I said, if you are not happy with it, you are able to trade it in. Up to 2000 gold, but if you trade it for something with similar cost, I'm pretty sure you do not have to pay anything extra. Or I hope at least this is how it works. But new KV5, I am surprised. I'm actually excited to see and to test this vehicle out. 330 alpha damage. And by the way, about this alpha damage, they said that this is experimental. They would like to hear our feedback and stuff like that. So we'll see. But KV5, let me know what you think about this one, and after it loses its preferential matchmaking status. USSR Giant. Nice nickname. I love it. And now for the end of the episode, let's take a look at some additional tunings that Wargaming is thinking about applying to the version 4. Now, as you already know from a previous version 4 episode, they decided to nerf its aiming time, its engine power, which means its power to weight ratio is going to be a bit weaker, reverse speed from 22 to 20, and some other accuracy things, blooms, if I remember correctly. But now, additionally, they increased the gun moving bloom from 0.096 to 0.115, but as I said before, you can increase its aiming time, its accuracy, you can nerf its accuracy to the ground, but if you play 268 correctly, which is in the face of your enemies, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your bloom is, it doesn't matter how long your aiming time is, it really does not matter because this vehicle is so ridiculously aggressive. And on the top of that, they reduced its HP from 2100 to 2000, reduced the traverse speed from 23 degrees per second to 22, and the top speed from 55 to 50, and reduced the gun laying speed from 31.3 degrees to 29.2 degrees. So I like that top speed nerf, because now it is not as fast as some of the medium tanks at least, but it is still able to keep up with a lot of medium tanks with 18 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio and 50 top speed. But it is not ridiculously fast. It is not faster than a lot of other tier 10 medium tanks. So what do you think about this vehicle now? Is it balanced now? In my opinion, it is getting there. I really do not want that Wargaming is going to over-nerf it, as they have done with many other vehicles. I would like it to be balanced. I would like it to be still really strong tier 10 tank destroyer, aggressive tank destroyer. This is what we need, because we have so many camping tank destroyers already, so I hope they do not drastically over-nerf it. I want it to be aggressive, still aggressive, but not too aggressive as it is at the moment. I would actually like it, I would actually like to test it out at the moment with those characteristics, statistics. Yeah. Anyway, beautiful people, the best community on YouTube, this was my today's news episode to you. As always, I keep you posted, I keep you up to date. This news was literally released for me around 50 minutes ago, so fresh out from the oven. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, thumbs up button, you know what to do. Click it, like that. If you didn't like it, don't click it. Click that thumbs down button. Subscribe for more action. Check out my Beast Mode Care store. And if you would like to support me even more, like if you would like to take it to the next level, my Patreon is for that. For some exclusive content as well. So stay awesome, take care, and as always, bye.